With the wiki being updated recently, and me really wanting to talk about this game, I decided to make this video now rather than wait. With this update, we got stats on both Warrior and Thief, meaning we can go over them. Both units serve purpose in inflicting bind, with one being a tank and the other a source of income. Let's go over Warrior first. Warrior is a low-range, self-sustained generalist able to attack multiple enemies while inflicting bind. Despite being of the epic rarity, this unit has a complexity level of Chew, meaning it shouldn't be too difficult to use it. Its boss skill is Whirlwind, a 10-second AoE counter with some bind infliction. It deals less damage if there's multiple enemies, but you can partially negate this downside via a perfect counter. It's also good at spreading bind and some bind count over multiple enemies, and the after use buff is generally nice to have. Level 1 is called Muscles, and it gives a small attack buff for a cheap price. You could opt to get another warrior, but it does help at minimizing micromanaging, and will be better for the pause skill. Level 2 is called Brave Blade, and unlocks warrior's passive called Recovery. Its healing being capped at 10 kinda sucks, but it's still nice to have nonetheless. Aside from the passive, it also gives some health, damage, and attack speed, which are all nice to have. Level 3 is called Blade Rush, and gives similar buffs to level 2. This level also maxes out the healing received from the passive, and is pretty good for how cheap it is. Level 4 is called Warrior Spirit, and just gives health and damage buffs, but due to its price, I'd recommend spending it on another unit to help. Pause skill. It's strong and cheap AoE. You also want other units to support on the defense, since if there's a time lock unit, Warrior won't be doing much. As for good potential allies, Thief and Priest help in inflicting bind, even if Priest does negate the self-healing of the passive. Vindicator also helps with bind, but being a legendary means not everyone will have it. Other good picks are Bandit and Archer, since they are overall great ranged damage dealers to help in taking down units, even if Bandit does miss out on some poise from its pause skill. And that's pretty much it for the Warrior. It's a good unit to help early game, and getting a level 3 one will always be a good use. Considering it's an epic, it also helps that it's easier to obtain it. Now going into the more complex of the two, Thief is a low-range economy tower that generates cash with the use of its unique status effect, Thievery. Thievery as a status does nothing by itself, but Thief's Pickpocket passive states that the player gains $4 for every stack consumed. It's also how you get Thievery, meaning you want to let Bandit attack as much as possible to generate it. While it doesn't state it, Thief also consumes 15 Thievery at the end of the round, which will be your main source of consuming it. The other way that Thief consumes Thievery is by the pause skill. Blade of Thieves is a 9-second burst counter that can consume 15 Thievery if you're at 25 plus of it. If it does consume Thievery, it will ignore the burst counter debuff and will deal more damage, as well as inflicting a good amount of bind and bind count, more on perfect counter. The skill itself does a pretty good amount of damage, being able to one-shot weak enemies for the extra Thievery on kill. Level 1 is called the First, you gotta cause some chaos, a pretty expensive upgrade for what it does. You're much better off placing another bandit than upgrade a bandit to level 1. Level 2 is called Then Sneak Up and Snatch Their Coin, and it unlocks Thieves' second passive, Dummy Bane, which just gives some extra damage based on highest Fury achieved on a round. Not only that, but it also makes the pause skill deal more damage. It's still not worth it the price in my opinion. Level 3 is called For the Den Scrubbers, Remember To, and it's way too expensive for what it does. Noticing it, friend, yet? Yeah, you're not supposed to upgrade this unit. You're way better off spamming it to get the money than to actually bother upgrading them. Level 4 is called Yeah, Heard you the first 100 times already. And it's just like every other upgrade. It sucks. When using this unit, you'll mainly want to get multiple of them on the field so you can grind as much as possible. They are somewhat able to inflict a good amount of bind and bind count, but it's generally not worth going for a full team around it yet since we barely have any archetypes. One of its best allies is Guardians, since it allows you to just stall out and gain as much money as possible, and because of that, also a priest to heal the Guardian. It does require a lot of micromanaging, but you want that money, don't you? Personally, I don't recommend this unit. It's probably better to just get a good defense than to risk losing so you can farm money. But it all boils down to personal choice either way. Do whatever you want, folks. And that's the 2 units I wanted to cover. Thank you for watching this far, and I hope the video quality is better than the last one. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It helps get the video further, and I want to see more people know of this game since I think it's pretty neat. Comment down below anything in your mind, and see you next time.